Let's discuss the existentialistic paradox. Existentialism, my apology, is a branch of philosophy that explores the area of existence. Right. One area of existentialism explores the idea of free will. Based on free will and personal responsibility, human beings have a moral obligation to subjectively construct a meaningful narrative that they deem to be objectively chaotic. Right? So, but what is free will? What is the definition of free will? The fundamental definition, or if not the 5 to 6 most prevalently used dictionary across the board globally, defines free will as the freedom to take action, make decisions, and govern events that's in accordance and at the discretion of one's personal motivation. I mean, that's my personal definition, but it aligns with the fundamental, or at least the denotational definition. Now, free will has taken on a whole new connotative meaning, because in contemporary times, you have to take certain ideas into consideration. You have to take the ideas of psychodynamics and psychoanalytics, different areas of consciousness, the conscious mind, the subconscious, or what Sigmund Freud coined as the preconscious, and then you also have the superconscious, also known as the universal unconsciousness. But so what does this relate to? When we talk about free will, we have to get into areas like subliminal, supraliminal, hyperliminal, hypnosis, and NLP, which is the abbreviation for neuro-linguistic programming. But what do these terms mean? I mean, there's many more areas. All of these areas are related to subconscious influence. Subliminal is information that bypass below the psychological threshold of conscious perception. Supraliminal is information that bypasses above the physiological threshold of conscious perception. Hyperliminal is a mixture of both, information that bypasses below the psychological and above the physiological threshold of conscious perception. Excuse me. Then you have hypnosis. Past life regression is one of the most prevalent phenomenon that's pervasive amongst individuals who are under some sort of hypnotic trance. So hypnosis now is when the brain, a study in cognitive neuroscience, is when the brain is induced from the alpha or beta state to the delta brain state. So the brain is induced down to the delta. So you're semi-conscious. And all actions become involuntary, making the person susceptible to any sorts of outside influence. So you have subliminal, we have supraliminal, we have hyperliminal, we have hypnosis, and then we have neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP. If you Google NLP, you'll also find NLP is an abbreviation attributed to natural language processing, often used interchangeably to the abbreviation NLP for natural language processing. They're mutually exclusive, right? Natural language processing has to do with linguistic models, and neuro-linguistic programming has to do with the correlation between neurological processes and linguistic models, right? And one of the phenomena in neuro-linguistic programming, and this relates to, again, subconscious influences. And so with neuro-linguistic programming, again, there's a sort of subconscious influence. You may smell something and it reminds you of a smell preceding back to childhood. Certain physiological, psychological, emotional states are induced, trigger. It stabilizes these emotions. On a conscious level, you have no control over this. So this sort of recedes right back to my initial first sentence of the existentialistic paradox, and the whole idea of free will, the ability to take action and make decisions and govern events that is in accordance and at the discretion of one's personal motivation. But that comes into big question when we take into consideration subliminal, supraliminal, hyperliminal, hypnosis, neuro-linguistic programming, and a number of different phenomena into consideration. In contemporary times, the whole idea of free will is on the table now. So, we come back to the existential paradox of, do we or do we not have free will? Motherfuckers.